Oh my gosh, what's up, you guys? Hi, my name is Fiona Renee. I'm the board of directors for the Game Academy, and I will be your mistress of ceremonies for the next part of the day and into the evening. I'm so stoked to be here tonight with you guys. I really have no words. I've been a part with TGA for quite a few years now, and my heart is so passionate about interactive storytelling and tabletop RPGs used for education. It can really change the world. I remember in school, I never remembered or retained anything unless I was emotionally involved and I was the lead of the story. So that's what we're doing here at the Game Academy. We're getting you guys involved. And I want to first and foremost, thank all of you for participating in the day. We had lots of games, we had seminars, workshops, and all of you guys played a huge part in making all of that happen. So a huge thank you to our amazing special guests, our staff, our volunteers who so kindly donated their time and energy to celebrate gaming together. And not only can we game together, but we play together. So thank you to those of you who have kept us going all day. And a big old thank you to our sponsors and contributors. I'm going to list them off right now for you guys, just to let you know who's been helping us behind the scenes. We've got Legendary Games, Metal King Studio, Dire Wolf Digital, Khalsa Brain Games, Dwarven Forge, Wizards of the Coast, Storium EDU, and of course, Emily and Stuart Devoren. So thank you guys for sponsoring this event. I mean, we would not be here without you. So now that we are heading into like the gala portion of the evening, I'm going to give you a little heads up on what to expect for the rest of the night. We've got several videos about the Game Academy, what our mission is, what our curriculum entails, and the staff and alumni that make it all possible. On top of that, we're going to talk about what it's like to be gaming in the time of COVID. It really threw things for a loop, not just for us, but for everyone. And so we've had to really kind of do our diligence to make sure that we can still get interactive storytelling and RPGs out to the world in a virtual way. And then interspersed with all of our really fun videos, we have some performance videos. Yeah, I'm not the only performer around, y'all. All of our staff and alumni have loads of cool hobbies. And so we'll have some performance videos stuck in between that. And then in between all of those, we'll have some sweet auction items to bid on. And that's what we're here for. We're here to raise money for the Game Academy to continue doing what they're doing, but even on a bigger scale. So make sure that you start bidding when that opens in just a few minutes. Now, don't forget, after this little gala fundraiser section, we'll have some more live Q&A stuff with Josh and Bert, the founders of the Game Academy. They'll be nerding out over a tabletop themselves. And then at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will have an awesome premiere of our new Twitch live stream show, our first Game Academy Twitch channel show called Arcane Dinner Party. And we'll be showing you a 2-hour pilot episode followed by a Q&A from its creators. So make sure you join us for that. And then if you guys are kind of night animals like myself and you want a jam session, grab a drink, get some food. And at 10 o'clock, we're going to have a little after party with DJ Johnny Geometry. I want to repeat that. DJ Johnny Geometry. It's a tongue twister for you. And he'll be getting us started about 10 p.m. for some after party groove time. So you guys can kick back, relax, and listen to that. So now that you got a little suss out of the shape of our evening, let's get started with our first video. Let's tell you about the Game Academy, who we are, what we have to do. Yeah, you ready? Here we go.
The Game Academy uses tabletop and live-action role-playing games to work with both children and adults alike to increase social emotional awareness, academic performance, motivation, and personal success.
Game Academy is a wonderful organization that helps facilitate role-playing games. It's a really powerful place because they have professional game masters that run a lot of games, know how to run games, and they can now tailor these games with an educational and social emotional learning focus, which is very powerful. It makes the games more than just rolling dice. It's all about telling stories, and it creates a safe and secure environment for anybody to game, which is a powerful feature that doesn't always necessarily happen when you just have random people put together. That professional game mastering is powerful.
The Game Academy provides social and emotional learning, as well as some really excellent training in how to be a decent human being.
When I first saw the Game Academy, I didn't honestly, it was unbelievable, right? The idea that you'd be a game master in an educational context to help kids engage with not only this hobby that is a lifelong hobby that really, something that I found at an early age and that has stuck with me to a significant degree. It's still my favorite part of my week. And to get the opportunity to jump into this hobby, which has core rule books that are 650 pages, to get brought into that hobby by experienced adult educators who are seeking to not just facilitate a fun and immersive gaming experience, but incorporate elements and themes that teach me more about my world was huge.
This is not a competitive experience for our participants and our game masters. This is a collaborative experience, very much so. So our games are collaborative. Our games are about telling stories, tapping into our participants' creativity, finding out where they are and meeting them there.
The kids are actually incentivized and care about exploring the world, exploring the history, exploring the social themes and settings, and they want to know why the world is the way it is. And moreover, they're motivated to actually be able to change it for the better. They have questions about why is it like this, how did it get like this, and what can I do to actually change something? And in presenting that kind of material, kids are incentivized to communicate, collaborate, problem solve, and critically think, while also expressing themselves and understanding, diving into themes about the world, and learning agency, and learning that hey, this thing correlates to a real theme in the world that you actually inhabit. But now you can explore this high stakes scenario and problem solve as a group and avoid any of the potentially negative consequences in real life of these high stakes scenarios while actually exploring what it's like to problem solve in a group.
This is really something that teaches every child how to be a hero and how to work collaboratively with others in order to tell stories and achieve goals. And I think all of those are really important 21st century skills, and frankly, skills we all need just in dealing with each other.
I was there every day, either game mastering or floating from table to table and just being like a positive force at those tables, getting the kids riled up and having fun, like that, being that cheerleader for them. And I think at that point, the end of that, Josh was like, and Julie actually was like, you found your tribe and your tribe has found you. And I think that really stuck with me. And that comment alone, your tribe has found you and you have found your tribe, I think that was the part where I knew that, okay, I've found my people. These people have similar interests. They have similar goals. They want to do the same thing that I want to do.
I am amazed at the way that our community is filling out and filling in and growing, and the way that we are so lucky to find people who believe in what we do. And whether those are people that come work for us or people that are just volunteering for us or donating, whether they're parents or players, we are building such a strong and wonderful community.
Yes. Okay. One thing is obviously for sure the Game Academy has incredibly talented staff, amazing storytellers and game masters, and they also have some pretty cool hobbies and skills. All right. So let's get started with our next video. The co-founder and creative director of the Game Academy, Bert Holcomb, you just saw him in the end of the last video. He's one of our most active game master educators. He also runs the outdoor games at our Adventure Gaming Summer Camp. And he went to Sonoma State University for his teacher credentials. You guys, he is such an amazing educator. But in this next video, you'll see Game Master Bert's musical side. So grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy a little bit of this from Game Master Bert. Check it out.
Buddy, it's Game Master Bert. I bet you're wondering what I'm doing sitting here behind all these fancy looking drums and cymbals. Well, happens to be that I like to do this kind of thing when I'm not running games with all of y'all and playing in wonderful adventurous stories. So, learned how to play when I was, many moons ago when I was much younger, actually through a friend who taught me, and then really just watching other people play. And then happened to be that I met some friends when I went to college and we started a band. So there was a time when I was actually in a band. But then those days passed, still kept in touch with those friends. We like to get together and play together every so often. There's still a few songs that we remember how to play. But this is one of the ways I like to relax and enjoy myself when I'm not playing games. And so I thought I'd share it with you, being that it's our little talent section of our fundraiser today. So here we go. One of the things I like about playing the drums, I should explain, is that I like that it's a self-expression. And depending on the mood I'm in and what I'm feeling, the way I play the drums sounds different. So, let's start with something simple. When I sit down, I like to start with something simple, try to keep it under control. So, something simple is always kind of fun, but sometimes I like to spice it up a little bit, get a little funky with it. So sometimes it sounds a little more like this. Then, there are times when I'm not really in the mood for that. I might be more in the mood to experiment and maybe something a little slower, a little more mellow. So I might start over here with... And sometimes it doesn't work out the way you expect. But let's see. I guess I should finish this off maybe with saying what I like to do when I'm sitting behind the drums thinking about that last boss battle, that final moment, the dramatic moment when the story really reaches its climax. And so when I'm thinking about that, I might start with something like this. So I guess that's a little example, a little slice of how I like to enjoy myself when I'm not at the gaming table, enjoy myself with all of y'all. And well, I hope you had fun. And I hope you enjoy the rest of our fundraiser. Thanks so much. And thanks for supporting the Game Academy.
Mwah. Mwah! I wish I knew how to play the drums. Mwah! I've got a piano and a guitar in my house. I'm learning how to play them. It's not going as well as I'd liked. So that was really fun. I'd like to get to our next bit, which is our first auction item. Dun, 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 dun. We'll get some more musical stylings from other staff members later, but I am opening up the bidding to the auction. Now, this is the best part of the fundraiser because we actually get to give back to you guys right away with some amazing pieces and some amazing experiences. All the items will be bidding right now. You can bid right now on the Game Academy website, and the bidding will be open through the end of November. So just because you bid tonight doesn't mean that you're just like, midnight, you get it, okay? At the end of November, we'll tally it all up and we'll hand out those prizes. So just know that this is going to be perfect. If it's at the end of November, it will be a great way to get some holiday gifts ready for December to all of the geeks in your family. Yeah. And it supports the Game Academy's mission simultaneously. So check out the auction site and start bidding now. The first thing that we're going to auction up are seats at a RPG table run by some of the most prolific and experienced GMs in the industry, right? We've got a list of them and I'm going to list them off right now. You can either bid for a seat at the table and the highest 5 bidders will sit down to play, or you can bid the table at $1,000 and you can have the entire experience and the table for yourself and your party of 5, right? So it's a totally personal party of 5 experience made just for you. Otherwise, bid for a seat and you will have so much fun, I promise. Now, I'm going to introduce some of our Game Master heroes, but I'm sorry, hold on. Stefan, is that you? Do you want a little? Stefan! Okay, Stefan wants to say a little something. Let's check him out.
Hello, foolish, brave adventurers. It is I, Stefan Picorni, founder and CEO of Dwarven Forge. And if you can pass the tests of the arcane auction, 5 lucky winners will sit down with me for a 3-hour evening adventure via Zoom. Are you ready?
Yes, Stefan, we are not ready, but we are getting ready. That was Game Master Stefan Picorni. He's the first table that we're going to bid off. He's also the founder and CEO, like he said, of Dwarven Forge, which is the first module miniature terrain company. And its Kickstarters alone have raised like over $19 million for gaming. So like claps off to Stefan. Check out the rest of his bio and stuff on our auction site. So he's going to be auctioning off a 3-hour Zoom game that uses Dwarven Forge terrain and has a terrain cam operated by Ann Carlton. So make sure that you guys bid on that immediately. Next up is Stephen Radney McFarland. He's got loads of professional credits. You can find that on our auction site. He's also been a major contributor with companies that produce D&D, Pathfinder, Starfinder, all sorts. And now he's a freelance game designer working with loads of companies. And he's the creator of a fantasy role-playing game called Delve. So bid on Stephen Radney McFarland's table, and you'll get a special preview session of the game Delve with Steven. So you're going to be with a pro game master, but you'll also be with the creator of the game. So that will be really, really dope. Next up, you'll be bidding on a table with Greg Vaughn, who is a prolific contributor to the Pathfinder role-playing game system. If you've ever played one of their adventure paths, you've probably played a game that he helped write, right? So go ahead and bid on a seat to be at a table with Greg Vaughn as your game master. And all of these games will be worked out for the date and time specifically after the auction has been settled. So don't worry, we're going to make sure that we adhere to y'all's schedules out there and we can all play together. So after Greg's table, we've got another table to bid off. That's Tim Hitchcock's table. Now, Tim Hitchcock is another super prolific pro RPG designer, just like the rest, but his work has appeared in dozens of publications. He's authored and worked on hundreds of different projects, which actually have won quite a few awards. So check out on the auction listing all the details of Tim and the rest of our GMs. And he also wanted me to let you know, because he's got such a great sense of humor, that if any of you and any of your characters decide to wear a full plate of armor, you don't really belong in the boat. So don't forget. Thank you, Tim. So make sure you bid on Tim's table right away. Again, the date and time will be worked out after the auction. Few more game masters. Jason Nelson. Thank you, Jason, because he is the owner of Legendary Games, one of our sponsors. He's a huge Pathfinder contributor and also another super prolific writer and designer that you can read more about on the auction listing. And he goes high concept, high action, high adventure. So you are not going to be bored, and you guys are probably going to be running for your money. So make sure you bid on Jason's table. Bid for a seat with Jason as game master. You guys can work out the game, the date, and the time after the auction. Just a few more GMs left. Next up is Matt KC Rift Everhart. So we call him KC Rift up in here. Thank you so much to Wizco Games. KC Rift is the owner of Wizco Games, one of our sponsors, and he is a game designer that is responsible for so many RPG game products, including D&D 5th edition, loads of modules for D&D 5th edition, and the campaign setting for Zephyr Tales from the Void, right? Like this guy's the spectrum is insane. And he's going to be auctioning off 2 separate game tables. And like I said, this is going to be perfect for some holiday gifts, especially because the first table, you'll get a seat at a 4-hour game session with Casey Rift himself, and he'll be running his game Christmas. Well, it's a Christmas Krampus themed module for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition called Winter's Grim Tidings. So you'll be able to play that, very holiday and festive for you. And the second auction item is for the 5 highest bidders. They'll win a seat. Sorry, my phone went off. They'll win a seat at a very special custom 4-session mini campaign. So instead of having like a 3 or 4 hour session campaign, just, right there with you, you'll have 4 separate mini campaigns. So it's not just a one-shot experience. You'll get 4 different sessions to take you through like an epic story. And this is a perfect way to like bond with your family, bond with your friends, or bond with some totally stoked strangers in the middle of a story, right? This is going to be fun no matter what. So check out KC Rift. He's going to help you out. Next up, we've got Jesse Benner. Now, Jesse Benner, he's a freelance game designer. He's worked on at least 30 different Pathfinder titles. You can read more about him on our auction site. He's just such a prolific game master. And again, win a seat at Jesse's table for a 4-hour game session. And you guys can discuss the game, the time, and the date after the auction. It's all made for you. And last but not least, we've got Michael Azzolino. Michael, he's one of the founding members of the Game Academy Board of Directors. So thank you, Michael. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And he's also a lifestyle gamer. He's got over 40 years of experience, right? Playing, running, designing RPGs. He's produced an award-winning gaming podcast, and he's one of the first GMs to stream tabletop role-playing games on Twitch before it was a thing. Like I just went to the Stranger Things experience last night, and now D&D has become like this cool, like everyone knows about it thing. This guy has been doing it way before that, okay? Before Roll20 and virtual tabletop software even existed. So read about him and more of the things that he's done in our auction item listings. And he also has 2 separate game tables to bid off. The first one, you'll be playing an 8-hour-long game session with Michael himself, playing a pre-published adventure, which you negotiate between you and Michael and the rest of the players. And then the second item that we're bidding off is a seat, another 8-hour game session with Michael, but instead this time it's a custom written game. That's what I'm into. Like, make me a story for me specifically and the character that I want to play. I'm in for 8 hours. So make sure you bid on a seat at that table. Again, the dates, the times will be worked out with you after the auction. And now the bidding is open, y'all. Get on there, start bidding. Get a seat at the table, come play with us, and make sure that you keep bidding and you keep an eye on that bid until the end of November when we actually let you guys know what the results are. Cool? Now, I could literally talk about these guys for ages. I'm pretty sure I already have, blah, 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 but we don't have time all night to listen to me just blab. So just trust me that they are awesome and their gaming will be awesome and it will be a unique experience that you never forget. Learning and playing 4 to 8 hours, you know what I mean? Or 4 mini sessions. There's so many things to choose from. Next up, we're going to talk about the Game Academy as a whole. Okay, I want to introduce to you the Game Academy's co-founder and executive director, Joshua Archer. Josh Archer has been not only a good friend to me over the past couple of years, but such a mentor. He's taught me so many things about game mastering, and none of us would be here without him. So hats off to him, because he is a man of many, many talents. He's been a role-playing gamer since, 1979? I don't know how old you were, son. 1979. And in 2011, he founded Iokari Games, which is a private company that designs educational role-playing games. At the beginning of 2016, Joshua and Bert Holcomb founded the Game Academy. Thank you guys so much for making this happen. So tonight, let me introduce to you Joshua Archer. He's going to tell you about some of the successes and challenges we have at the Game Academy. Here we go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And don't worry, I think they would rather listen to you talk than me. So I'm going to keep this short. I've been told to keep it short. So I'm going to give you just a quick rundown of all the the really exciting things that are happening for us at the Game Academy. And just a brief little background, if you are new to us, we founded in 2016, as previously said, and that means that at the end of 2020, it's the end of our 4th year. And well, let's just say that I think we brought a little bit more love to the world than somebody else that's been around for 4 years, but let's not get political. We started off with just a dozen program members at the beginning, and now at the present, we have served over 250 participants, and we've had enrollment as high as 100 active students at any given time. So we have grown. We have really done a great job. As far as staff goes, it was just Bert and myself, and slowly over those 4 years, we've added up to a staff of 15. We've got 2 full-time employees, 1 overworked volunteer, and a dozen part-time game masters and creators, along with a host of adult and teen volunteers and several contractors that help us with the things we don't know how to do. So we are no longer a little mom and pop or a pop and pop gang. We are now what you would call an established entity. Let's just keep it that way. Along with all of this, our operating budget has grown along with enrollment, but we are falling short of our actual needs. That's why we're doing things like this. We are very clear that every class we teach is subsidized, and we have an ethic to make sure that no participant, no child who wants to be in our program is turned away because of economic need. So your donations go directly into making sure that those who really need our program are able to get it. We are stepping up our fundraising efforts, and we hope to have events like this once or twice a year, new guests, new games each time, new stuff to do. So keep your eyes open. But as on the funding the level, we've got some good news as well. I mean, we have received several grants over the last year or 2 years. We've gotten some really generous grants from the Ben Josh Foundation for $10,000 several times. And really, this is an amazing thing. We are in a collaboration with UC Santa Cruz's Social Emotional Technology Lab on a 3-year, $1.5 million NSF grant-funded project to create a summer camp for middle school girls that uses live action role play and wearable technology to teach concepts of computer programming and design and the use of programmable hardware. So we are pushing the STEM envelope, and we've got a real great partner. We're really excited about the project, and more news as that develops. The first year of that camp will be in 2021. In some form. So if you know a middle school girl that might enjoy something like this, let us know, and there might be a spot for you. This March was a hard time for all of us, and we were forced to retool our entire program. We were exclusively an in-person delivery for our classes, and we had to pivot in a matter of weeks to an all online delivery. And we were able to do it in time to finish our spring term. And this summer, we ran our first successful online summer camp. And we, as much as we want to return to the table, and we will return to the table in person as soon as we can, we now have an online gaming program. And that also will continue because it's allowed us to reach people and individuals at a distance that we weren't able to reach before. There's a lot of new programs that we have started and will be starting in this next year. We've started our Game Master Training and Certification program. This year, in the spring, we started our first Game Master 101 course for youth. Over the summer, we developed a parallel program for adults. We have more courses in development, including a storytelling class, production and publication class, so individuals can learn how to be better game masters, better storytellers, and can produce actual content that others can use and perhaps even purchase. So that's part of where we're moving, and more on that as we go. We have a new LARP class, actually, that's starting up this winter. Storytelling Through LARP. It's led by Laura Marson and Lindsay Vogel, and they are an amazing team that came to work with us for our summer camp with our physical quests. And now they're starting a class that's really in the center of their proficiencies. So we're going to get a chance to hear from them in a little bit. We have launched our TGA channel. So this is new educational and entertainment programs on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live. All of tonight's events and our talks today have been put up there, so you can, if you missed anything, you can go and check it out. And tonight, right after the gala, we are piloting the Arcane Dinner Party program, and that's going to be pretty exciting. Stick around for that one. We are starting publishing, so the TGA publishing arm is starting, and our first big project is a Kickstarter campaign that we are starting in 1 week. So today's the 14th. Hopefully we're launching on the 21st if everything goes according to plan, with our first big adventure, Scourge of Sharon. It's in partnership with Storm Bunny Studios, and it's in their World of Alessia setting, and we're publishing it for release right after we run it for our summer camp in 2021. So we are on an amazing trajectory, but we don't get there without your help and support. Your belief in us and your contributions are going to help us create a better world for all of us. So thank you so much. And now let's hear from Laura and Lindsay.
Hey, students. My name is Laura.
I'm Lindsay, and we want to LARP with you.
What is LARP? LARP stands for Live Action Role Play. In a LARP, you create a story with other players by acting out scenes within various worlds and scenarios.
You could play people in a world of vampires and werewolves, teenagers from the 1980s, or family members at the dinner table on a night when everything goes wrong. The possibilities are endless.
We'll be holding a class called Storytelling Through LARP, in which we'll play a variety of LARP games. If you're a fan of the storytelling, improv, or acting aspects of role-playing, come join us.
We're so excited to dive into these stories and worlds with you. See you soon.
See you soon.
Well, thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm going to pass it back to our wonderful MC for the evening, Fiona, and let us know what we have next in store.
Josh, you're the best. Thank you, dude. Well, obviously.
Oh, you got to flip that one around.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. If you guys are here with us right now, you probably know we're talking tabletop RPGs. We're talking about role-playing games, and we're talking about how, of course, yes, they may have exploded in popularity over the past couple of years, especially with like Stranger Things, letting people know about D&D in a way that they've never known before. But we've been doing this for a long time. And lots of people now offer their services as game masters for children and adults alike so that we can educate students to learn inside of a story together. That's what we do here at the Game Academy. But what makes us different from all of the others offering entertainment-based gaming is that we are education focused. Everything we do has an educational framework. It's about learning and learning through personal and communal experiences, not just the entertainment. So I want to tell you a little bit about our staff. Our staff includes credentialed and graduate level educators who have behavioral and psychology specializations, people who went to school for that, but also are able to play in games. And the secret here is that play-based learning is the best kind of learning to actually retain knowledge. When you're actually immersed inside of a character and a world and a story, you are uniquely motivated to learn. And you're learning more than just academics. You're developing and practicing social and emotional skills while you game. That's like the key point here. Whether you are 70 years old or 7 years old, we can all learn a little bit more of social and emotional understanding in this world. So our games help the participants increase their skills in communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, and it provides opportunities for the development of empathy, for self-discovery, for self-regulation, and resilience. Let me say that word again, resilience. Don't we all need a little bit of extra resilience nowadays? Because I know I do. Woo! So I want you to realize the depth of what we provide. It is not just role-playing games, and it's not just education, but it's the ability to learn in many, many, many forms through story and through you being a part of the story, because you are, and you are a hero, my friend, inside of this story. So that's enough for me right now. Let's hear more from the Game Academy staff directly about what they do and what the Game Academy can provide. Yeah, check it out. Here we go. Tell me, guys.
Learn at the Game Academy, what they're really getting is a great self-confidence, practice with communication, collaborating with each other, learning how to strategize. There's critical thinking involved, and of course the social emotional sort of self-regulation, self-awareness, and understanding of how you fit into a group of other players and what that means to play a game and tell a story with other people. We're giving them a platform and a context in which to explore and piece all these things together. Piece together their understanding of themselves, and how they interact with other people in an effective way where they're just having fun. They're engaged in the game, they're playing, but we're guiding them to show them the ways that are most effective to engage, what works and doesn't work with the people that are around you, how you need to be aware of yourself so that you can effectively communicate and collaborate with others.
We're the smart kid, we're the fat kid, we're the kid who stutters, we're the kid who is a little weird, or is the jock, or is expected to be, the prom queen. And those can be constraining. Those identities can stop us from talking to people who we have a lot in common with, but because society frames our lives in a way that we don't feel like we're in control of, we never meet. But when we sit down in an environment where we're trying to be somebody else, we're playing another role, we free ourselves. We allow ourselves degrees of freedom to make friends with the person who's across the table from us. And we don't give any care about who they are when they walk out of the room. For this moment in time, we're sharing ourselves through narrative. And in that space, we're allowed to really side door all of those roles that society expects us to take on and really connect.
Yeah, so an example of how some of the stuff in an adventure would otherwise tie into the real world, you use things like a relief carved into the side of an ancient temple to provide some kind of exposition about what maybe happened there a long time ago. And the kids then learn about the concept of like a bas-relief, and you can pull that up and show them on a laptop and say, this is what a relief is. They actually exist. Here's a stele, right? It exists in these multiple areas, and they get familiar with those concepts.
I experience kids every day, all week long, who come to me remotely right now, of course, because of COVID. And they are, I think, looking for connection and looking for outlets for their creativity and looking for ways to be accepted in a group. And I think that for us, reaching those kids, regardless of their background, regardless of their level of experience with these kinds of games, and just tapping into what they're interested in, what they find fun, and then bringing them into a situation where other kids are doing the same thing, and we're facilitating this experience of telling a story that they get to partake in telling. They have an active role in telling that story. And so I just think that's exciting.
They have to be able to come up with solutions that involve other characters as well. They also have to take other people's feelings into account and other people's skills and expertise into account. So it's a really good way of teaching empathy and understanding what you're dealing with, which I think are skills that definitely we could all use more of as adults.
It's stealth education. They don't, the educational aspects and the things that are being reinforced, like that communication and collaboration, are just a part of getting your guy out of the situation they're in right now, moving on to the next task and surviving, right? So they're really incentivized to do those things in a way that otherwise there's not really a context that galvanizes all of the group in that way along those lines.
What we bring and what we provide is security, safety, comfort, and love. I mean, we really love the kids that are in our program, and we're there for them first. The storytelling is secondary to their personal health, their mental health. And we're always on watch to make sure that when we're playing together and sharing ourselves together, that everybody's okay, and that we're really checking in with them on their day-to-day, as well as what we do as exploring as adventurers.
At the Game Academy, we strive to make sure that everyone feels welcome and accepted. And we make sure that we're imparting that to our participants so that they're learning how to make people feel welcome and accepted. And when we find moments where there's slip-ups, where participants will maybe say something rude or say something sort of in an aggressive way toward another player, we address that immediately. And we give those players a chance to really examine the dynamic that's happening, why things are being said, what the reasoning is, and how we can move forward together in agreement and collaboration.
The Game Academy makes the world a better place is really by encouraging the social and emotional learning of all the participants. And what that means is teaching skills like collaborating and empathy and communication and creativity, and allowing people to really express themselves in ways that perhaps they don't get to in their everyday life.
Yes, 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 yes. That's what I'm talking about. Nicely done, you guys. Thank you for that. And, you know, those are many of the staff members that we have, but not only are they educators and game masters and you know, literally helpful humans, but they're also a jack of all trades in regards to performance and playing as well. So I've got another video for you guys. You saw Julia Dvorin. She had the cool little purple hat at the end. She's actually married to Joshua Archer, so she's been involved since the inception of the Game Academy, and she's also now the communications director here. And you may be more familiar with her as the camp director of our Adventure Gaming Summer Camp, but she's also a musician, and a musician with an instrument that some of you may not know about. She plays a metal instrument made of steel called the hand pan. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this. It was invented by a Swiss company called Pan Art in 2000, but it's one of the coolest instruments I've ever seen. I would love to know how to play it. And in the next video, she's going to play 4 different hand pans that cover the song Rainbow Connection. So lean back and relax and get a little cozy, because this might actually start making you meditate. This song you might recognize from my good old friend Kermit the Frog and the Muppets, but she makes it in a way that is very beautiful. So check this out and give a little hand to Jessica Dvorin. Julie.
Are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusion. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps takes us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Are these the sweet sounds that call the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Da-da-dee, da-da-dee, dum, da-dum, da-dee, dum, dee-da, roo.
I love that. Julia, I'm so sorry I called you Jessica earlier, but that was so beautiful. And thank you so much for that. It really just put me in like a cozy mood. Every time I hear that, the song and the hand pans, it just kind of soothes me out. And if you guys don't know, Julia actually, that was her quarantine project back when COVID hit in April. She learned how to play an instrument. So awesome. Now, moving forward, I've got another auction item for you guys. And this is actually super cool because it's an actual gaming accessory or something that you could just put out because it's so dope. It's a 3D printed model of the Starship Sleipnir. It's like a dollhouse for nerds, you guys. Like, come on. It's 2 feet, 9-inch starship that's modeled on the Rocinante from the television series The Expanse. And it's printed from 3D models created by Second Dynasty. So you'll notice it's got 7 layers of decks scaled for use with your standard miniatures for your like space themed tabletop RPGs. And then our award-winning miniature painters will give this ship full color painting. So don't you worry, it will have the treatment that it deserves. And check out this video from their Kickstarter to see how amazing this ship can be, whether you just use it as a display piece or actually in your own game. So check it out. Second Dynasty. You guys are going to love this thing. Bid now. Right now. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Ben from Second Dynasty, and we're back again not only with a brand new 3D printable spaceship, but even crew miniatures and our very own deck designer software. Introducing the Sleipnir, inspired by your favorite hard sci-fi universes. She has no artificial gravity, just a fusion torch to push her through the black between the inner planets and the far reaches of the solar system. Featuring 11 stackable decks of incredible 28mm detail, the Sleipnir is named for Odin's 8-legged steed. She'll get you where you're going, and with fully articulated print-in-place defense cannons, she'll tear pirate vessels to shreds and shoot down any incoming fast movers with ease. She's home to 5 permanent crew members, and as the campaign unfolds, will be introduced to more of their colleagues. All in all, the Sleipnir is our most detailed build yet, But to handle all the modularity and customizability of the ship and our other vessels, we've created Deck Designer, a software suite to make your printing life and ours so much easier. Deck Designer will let you import ship layouts to customize them to your liking, allowing you to plan your build visually and provide handy tools such as file handling and printing lists. Don't worry, it doesn't just work on our stuff, it works on any STL collections on your hard drive. Your funds go straight back into funding new modular options for the ship, new 3D printable miniatures, and of course new features for Deck Designer. On top of that, you also let us keep doing what we love, making awesome spaceships.
Oh my gosh, how epic is that? The Sleipnir spaceship, you guys, you got a bid on it right now. And on top of that, the Game Academy is actually going to install the lighting kit on that. So you'll have the engine lights and the deck lights and the whole thing. How dope. You just want that like sitting on your bookshelf, more or less on your game tabletop to play with. So please bid right now. Amazing. Next up, it's probably one of my favorite parts. It's what I'm so passionate about, and it's what TGA does literally the best out of anyone, and it's the curriculum that they provide. Come on. Now, I already told you that our games promote social, emotional, and cognitive development while inspiring empathy and critical thinking and an entirely collaborative spirit that motivates more collaborative spirits outside of that. But the really cool special sauce that the Game Academy brings that no one else does, I think, is the focus on education. Everything we do has an educational focus. We design our own game curriculum for that specifically. And our interactive learning programs are designed specifically, like I said, to engage individuals from all demographic backgrounds. So all kinds of people from all different backgrounds can learn to play together. We serve not only neurotypical children and adults from your average backgrounds, but if average even exists, but we also serve individuals that have learning challenges, social challenges, individuals that belong to at-risk or otherwise disenfranchised groups, the color, the age, no matter where they're from, what they look like, how they learn, or how they feel, there is a game table that is waiting for them that they can play at. Gaming is literally good for everybody, and it welcomes people in a way that, you know, the world doesn't. So help us create a better world here, guys. Donate, bid, get in the auction, and make sure that you understand that our curriculum can literally help anyone. We're committed to making our gaming tables safe, because a safe space is the place where you can learn, where you can take risk, where you can be free, where you can make mistake, where you can grow. So there's a circle, we call it the magic circle, and it's drawn around the group so that everyone can agree to take each other as they are right now, flaws and all, and take each other for who they want to become and who they aspire to be in the future, themselves, their character, and the story they want to tell. So the Game Academy curriculum is just something that I'm so passionate about. Please check out this next video where you can learn from Bert and the rest of the staff on what else they offer within that curriculum. Oh, it makes me want to cry, you guys. Check it out.
I believe so passionately in what we are doing, which is reaching out to kids of all backgrounds, ages, and giving them a really enjoyable way to learn about themselves, learn about the world, and play, which I think is one of the keys to actually learning.
I'd always been a kid who liked education, and I think because of my experience with role-playing games, because it motivated me to learn things that I needed to know in the context of the stories I was telling. It wasn't just knowledge in an isolated sense. It wasn't me learning math for math's sakes alone, but it was so that I could pretend to be an engineer that might be building some sort of structure that helps invade a castle, or learning history about a certain people so I could better portray myself as part of that culture. And I knew that this was something that had saved my life socially, had given me academic motivation and made me really interested in stuff. And I remembered them because I used them in a context.
To write curriculum for teachers units, to partner with UC Santa Cruz and the National Science Foundation to write an EduLARP for middle school girls and STEM education. Like these are the kinds of projects that come along with facilitating gaming as a mode of learning.
The different levels of experience that we offer as a varied program, an educational program for our participants of all ages. We have obviously the simplest basic level is participants come in and play a game with us and enjoy the basic benefits, the fun of that and the experience of that and the personal growth of that. We also offer training now both for youth and for adults on how to be a game master, how to run games for your family, for your friends, for your kids and their friends. The two different classes offer distinct versions. One is focused on adults and how they might offer it either in context with their friends or with their kids. The former is simply focused on kids and giving them the basic skills so that they can play these games with their own friends and with their families.
The importance of my job is to be able to just make sure that the game masters and all of the adults are providing positive behavior interventions. So we're not using negative reinforcement, we're not using punishment, because even though this is like a preferred activity and the kids generally want to be here, there are times where, you know, they have a hard time, just like anyone else. You know, this is a social aspect and or a social game, and the social contract is definitely in full effect. And kids have a hard time understanding that. The younger kids are very egocentric, which is what they're supposed to be at that age. That's how they get their needs met. It is about me and my needs getting met. And so being able to scaffold those feelings of me, and turning that into a us environment where it's more about all of us at the table is a great thing to do, but it's also difficult. And so I provide a different outlook on how to line up that curriculum.
Taking curriculum standards into account, we write a game that touches on each of those points. So we received from a 5th grade teachers organization the request to write a game about the American Revolution. So we're drafting a curriculum-based game that gets people to understand these core social studies concepts, like for instance, the forced quartering of soldiers, right? And how that relates to parts of the Constitution. So then you have an in-game experience that reiterates that notion and puts the student in the position of like, hey, you're a shopkeeper and you have these goals and victory conditions as a shopkeeper, but also now you're gonna have to pick a side because both sides are coming to you and saying, supply us with something. And you're saying, my victory conditions as a shopkeeper are just to keep my shop open. But now you're forced to pick a side. And that kind of paints that reality in a much more immersive way that you grasp those fundamental concepts in a visceral way. They're impactful, that they may not be through absorbing through a lecture.
The same education is going on in all the different games. When they are trying to solve puzzles to escape scenarios, that is that math that they're trying to do. Or it could be a puzzle of literature and words and all those puzzles they want to do. They are actively thinking, how can we tie this into some curriculum to make that story happen with those ideas in it? And that is a purpose they want to have, because now you get educational aspects along with the gaming aspects.
The moments at the table when we're game mastering, they're fun. They're genuinely fun and they're genuinely rewarding. You're seeing, again, the kids not only have a ton of fun playing the game, but they're developing and they're growing and we're working as a table on certain group issues and they're carrying over, and you're seeing them reward one another, seeing them take on that mantle. That's a reflection of the mentorship provided by the game masters. And the game masters, we're not there just to run the game. We're there to run the game for the specific set of kids that are at the table. So it's not just prepping to run a game, it's prepping to run this game for these specific kids. And that means taking their individual demeanors and what they want into account. And part of that is the rewarding experience of seeing them actually dig into the game and dig into the subject matter and send us messages like during the week saying like, hey, I've been thinking about the game and I think that I know what's happening in this specific area right now. And we're like, great, that's awesome. I love seeing those emails. But seeing a message on Discord from one of the kids saying, hey, I'm really excited to debut the monster we made together. And said, yeah, awesome, me too.
I direct all of us toward the best practice of what we do. That means training our education game masters, but that also means myself learning from them, constantly researching the different advancements in education and educational theory and how they can apply to what we do, and constantly improving the service that we're providing so that we can reach and engage with as many participants as want to come to us and enjoy this experience.
Where were you when I was in school? Gosh, y'all. I mean, I feel like I would have learned so much more if I had the ability to learn through play when I was younger, because that's all I wanted to do anyway was play. If you said I could go to school and play and learn, I would have done that. Thank you for that video. And thank you to all of you guys who are donating right now and bidding on our auction items. We're checking it out. And I really see that. I mean, we've got dollars coming in. Keep bringing them in. We can make more games, especially because now we can really expand the Game Academy to a worldwide level. Now that we're virtual, we can be playing with kids in Paris, can be playing with kids in America, can be playing with kids in South Africa. I mean, this is phenomenal timing. So thank you for all of the donations thus far. Keep bringing them in. Now, moving forward, I've got another performance video for you guys. This is kind of cool. We've got a guy named Vern Roberts. He was a game master at the Adventure Gaming Summer Camp for about 3 years. He's a very good friend and supporter of the Game Academy. And you'll see him and his son, Tyler, who was also a participant in the summer camp, in one of our later videos talking about the benefits of participating. But right now, you're going to check Vern out. I told you I tried to play guitar. I'm not very great. Vern is a baller. So check him out. In his spare time, he likes to play other than playing games, he likes to play his guitar. And he's going to do an abbreviated but super rockin' cover of the song called Peaches for us in the next video. So check it out. Check it out. Vern Roberts.
Just come from a can put there by a man in a factory downtown. If I had the way, I'd choose it today. Some soaking love in the shade. Moving to the country, gonna give me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat me a lot of peaches. With a nap with a rooftop twist, switch to cotton and peach my fist, and dreamed of have you gone. I put my fingers on the side, you're going to hide. You just can't in my hand again, no pie. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Look out!
Legend, Vern. My favorite part of that song is when you go, look out. It was brilliant. I was jamming. I don't know if you saw me, but I was jamming. Thank you, Vern, for playing with us. That's what this is all about, guys. It's about taking risk, having fun, not being scared to just play. And that's what we're doing here. And that's what we do every day at the Game Academy. So moving forward, I want another auction item on the list so you guys can bid and donate. The next super exciting item that I want to tell you about is really cool. It's an experience that is really unique and has never been done before. So we're creating a program called Run the Dice. And this item, you will be bidding to be a part of the prototype of the experience. So this is how Run the Dice works. And you can, Now, aspiring game designers or game masters will get an opportunity to run a game for a table of players, but the players are all professional designers and GMs themselves, many of whom you've heard of earlier when I was talking about the auction items of the different GMs that we have, the prolific GMs that we have. Well, they will actually be your players. And this group of master GMs that are playing your game will critique and give you advice on the content and the performance and everything that you've done. So eventually we have intentions to bring this program to our Twitch channel and YouTube channels as a regular show. But if you're looking to hone in on your GM skills, if you're looking to test your abilities, if you're looking to really like push your limits with people that can really help you, this is the auction item for you. Okay. And the highest bidder will get the very first game master space in the program. So make sure you bid on this because the time and date will be negotiated with you specifically after the auction is complete. And the learning experience that you have here is literally undeniable. Like I'm probably going to bid on this. So, don't get crazy. Next up, we've got a testimonial video. This is where my heartstrings get pulled, you guys, because the Game Academy has such a positive impact on the people that come through. But I don't need to tell you that. The participants and the parents that are part of our community can tell you that themselves with what they've appreciated and what they've taken away from their experience by playing with us. So have a look at this video and see what some of our players and friends have to say.
The flexibility of the Game Academy is a great thing because, sometimes there are kids who come in who, don't particularly want to be there or don't really understand how role-playing games work. And the game masters always meet them at that level. And then over time, they often start participating more and start really getting into it. It's not like everyone who comes here is immediately prepared to go all out, but over time, we can work on that. I've seen people change here because I've been here for many years. I've seen people grow from just messing around in the game, trying to cause chaos because they're frustrated, to actually working towards a common goal with the rest of the team.
My first experience was interesting. I had never done a role-playing game before, but instantly the people were welcoming, and I felt like this was just right for me. And now it's something I do a bunch. It's nice, it's comforting to have something like this around.
Because I was one of the original groups to join the Game Academy, I basically got a group of friends and we all started going, and it was just a grand time because, none of us really were professional game masters at 8 or anything, we still aren't. So it was incredibly nice to just have an actual guiding hand who knew what they were doing. And it was a lot of fun from day one.
A new group. I was the new person, and everyone else was looking out for me. They were helping me. They were, giving me advice, and they were friendly. They were showing me the ropes, just everything, and they gave me something to look forward to throughout the week or during the summer. There's something that I could keep my mind on at night, not simply drift off into my thoughts.
The Game Academy meets kids where they're at, and they inspire creativity, and they really allow kids to be who they are as soon as they enter the door, and that creates a safe space for them, and for kids like Amelie who has anxiety. She doesn't trust very easily with her environment. Within minutes, she was comfortable being there. And that speaks volumes about what they do.
It's fun because we also have friends, and it's nice to be playing a game. You know, it's relaxing and everything.
I told them that the people there are professionals, as they are, and that like you have so many options. You can make your own character, you can build your own world, you can get new friends.
In Game Academy, you can get provided dice if you do not have any set. You get provided, the stuff you're going to need, including a character, and they'll even teach you the rules. And if you're messing up on the rules, they'll even help you with that. And it's really helpful for people to learn newer systems, or new systems to them, and gain new experiences with new role-playing systems, and maybe even want to try them out more.
In fact, one of my closest friends, I brought into the Game Academy, and now we play together. Characters are very close in the sense that we grew up together, and we ourselves get to talk to each other every time our game meets, or our table meets.
A space where I don't really have to worry about what's going on in the outside world. I'm just kind of there in character in the moment, doing things and planning things. And there are problems inside the game world, sure, but it's that 1 degree of separation where I don't have to worry about all the crazy stuff going on outside. I can just focus on this.
And I basically, when I talk more energetically and always try to discover new things, learn new things about everything, and learn how to do different things, stuff like that. And it's just been really, really fun, to be honest.
I can say, in regard to relationship-wise on his side of things for it, it has given him confidence to step up and be a game master himself. He actually, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, started running a Starfinder campaign for myself and a few of my adult friends. We're all a group of 40-somethings, and I've got my 17-year-old son game mastering Starfinder for a group of 40-somethings, and no one has any complaints. He's doing a phenomenal job at it.
Walking up to someone and talking to them. At the time, I didn't have any idea how many people around me actually played role-playing games. Then once I got into it, and I started talking about it, I realized a bunch of people around me wanted to or do play role-playing games. Before that, I had no idea.
They make a point of getting to know each kid that joins their groups. They're very sensitive to kids' sensitivities. Some of the kids there have sensory issues, like Amelie, and their gaming is perfect. It's a perfect space for social emotional development. If you have the right game masters, which Game Academy does. It really teaches kids about cooperation, about patience, about learning how to do for others, about collaboration. It helps children in their sense of self-efficacy, their feelings of I can do this. It also it helps them with their literary thoughts, with creating story. It's friendship building. Excuse me. She has made friends through Game Academy. It inspires creativity, and it accepts kids just the way they are. They don't have to be anything other than what they are. And that's a really safe place to be.
Thank you for supporting the Game Academy.
Ah, my heart. Thank you guys. Just like what Vern said, thank you for supporting us. Our donations have been going up. People are bidding. I'm so grateful. Keep them coming. This next video is a short one, but it's super fun. On the same day that we filmed Bert playing the drums, which you saw earlier, he had another game master, Mitch Englander, come over and do a socially distanced impromptu jam session. You'll see him a little bit later, but check out this video where you see Bert and Mitch jam out on the drums and the bass guitar. Boom, 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 boom. Check it out.
It's Game Master Bert again, and I wanted to let you know that, that previous video, playing the drums when you're all by yourself, it's fun, but it's not as fun as when you have somebody with you. And many of you may recognize the person on my left, Game Master Mitch. And so here we are to play you a little something that we just tried to figure out for your entertainment. Shall I count you in? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Smacking the bass, boy. Nice. That was very fun. Thank you guys. Now we've got a really cool auction item that I want to tell you guys about, and this will be of particular interest to the educators in our community. If you are an educator, you are going to want to bid on this item. It's perfect to use in the classroom or even in a homeschool pod. All right. So the guys at Storium EDU, they have a collaborative youth writing game that builds skills for years and years of lasting confidence. So we are auctioning off a 1-year digital subscription package of 8 seats for Storium EDU, right? That's 8 seats. And it has vivid art, and there are these digital story cards that serve as like writing prompts, which help students figure out what to write at each next step. And it helps them overcome like this idea of writer's block. I mean, this isn't just for students. This is for any adult, any person that wants to be able to write. So we have 8 teacher seats that will help them enhance story and character development. Each student will create and control their own unique character, and then the characters will grow and evolve as the students play and write. And they take turns playing each story card and adding to the card. So, you collaboratively write your own original story simply by playing a game. I mean, bring that to Hollywood, guys. Jeez. And the Storium EDU's simple rules motivate even the most reluctant writers, and they help them keep the story moving forward. It will literally fund an entire department, right? So if you're a school, if you're an educator, you guys get on this, because it could really help not only the teachers, but the students. And there's so much to give here. There's 8 teacher spots, 8. So bid on that right away. And you can read more about Storium EDU on our auction site and on their website. There's so much information there. So make sure you purchase this. Or if you have an education friend in education, a teacher at home that's really having a rough time right now, this is a perfect gift for them for the holidays. So make sure you bid. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is one of the really cool things about the Game Academy is that the participants who come and play with us, the kids that come as players and last for years, they tend to stick around for a very long time. so long that they come back year after year, and some of them actually become assistants and staff with us later on, whether it's as game masters or in the gaming summer camps. So in addition to all the amazing 21st century skills that they're going to get as players, creativity, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, curiosity, right? All of these things, the Game Academy is also teaching them leadership. I don't know if you guys realize right now, but we're in America, but this is worldwide. Leadership is one thing that we all need to learn. And it's not about dictation. Teachers aren't about telling people what to do and what not to do. It's about accepting the student as they are and being there for them as they are growing, to answer questions and to play with them, right? To guide as opposed to direct. So I think that that's really one of the most amazing things the Game Academy has to offer. In this video that I'm about to play, the Game Academy's young adult alumni are going to tell you what the Game Academy has done for them. So please check it out.
It's really neat to see the actual tangible impact that this has on people. It's something that has been, I think, the MO of the Game Academy since the beginning. Is it's not just playing games, it's also social emotional learning and teaching.
As a camper, I was never felt super in touch with everyone else, but as a camper assistant, it was I don't know, Joshua and Julia are super nice, and then I don't know, just the things that I did as a camp assistant were they felt super meaningful, helping the campers get along, and I don't know, organizing the figures and everything was kind of almost family-like.
Playing the games was fun. Meeting new people was fun. Yeah, and then later on, volunteering and helping out was really satisfying.
I was a little shy because I didn't know anyone except for Luca there, but it was definitely fun to just I thought the game systems themselves are really cool, and watching people play their characters was really fun, and it was also a good chance to get to know new people.
Saw that there were summer camps going on, and although I felt like I was getting a little too old to participate in the summer camps, as a camper, I asked whether they would be interested in having a volunteer assistant, and apparently that was interesting to them, and so I got the opportunity to volunteer and found that very interesting. So the next year I volunteered again, and even though that was during COVID, so it was a slightly different format, I enjoyed that as well.
I learned a lot about problem solving and interpersonal relationship stuff, because I was kind of a confrontational kid, and so there was me and my friend Matthew, and we would go at it all the time, and he was super stubborn, but I was super uncompromising. And so the Game Academy kind of helped me get better at working with other people.
Dealing with the role-playing games aspect is very fun, and helping other kids work out the problems or whatever that they're dealing with while trying to understand the role-playing game. That's also interesting.
Other activities we did during the summer camp that were fun, it's just good to know, or to get to interact with people other than just the games.
It was pretty satisfying being able to use a skill that I have to help others out.
Being a camp assistant at the Game Academy was my first job experience, and it was a really nice environment to have a first job experience with definite responsibilities, because everyone there was so nice. Yeah.
And say that throughout most of the time I spent at the Game Academy, I very much felt yes, this is really closely aligned with my interests, and I'm meeting people who feel similarly how I feel about these games.
It definitely has improved my ability to make friends, maintain relationships.
Thanks, Game Academy, for everything you've done throughout my life.
Thank you for supporting the Game Academy.
Thank you. No, thank you guys. I mean, you heard it yourself. I feel the exact same way. Interpersonal relationships are basically the one thing that keeps the world going. And there's no class for that in school. And the one thing that you do really get no matter what in gameplay is relationships with all the different kinds of characters. So keep the donations coming, keep the bidding up, and help the Game Academy continuously give this gift to the rest of the world. Next up, we've got a super cool performance video. You already got a sneak peek of Mitch Englander when he was with Bert playing the little bass earlier. He's been with the Game Academy for many years, and he's one of our favorite game masters. And he also runs the craft room during the gaming summer camp. Lots of amazing things, but little did you know, he is also an artist, an avid miniature painter, and a very experienced fire spinner and performer. So in this next video, you're going to check out the steampunk themed event that he performed at with his fire poi. So be prepared to be amazed and kind of shocked. Check it out. Here we go, Mitch. Fire spin for me, babe. Oh my gosh, how cool! I want to do this. I want to play with fire. Very cool. Thank you, Mitch. I'm going to have to ask you how to teach me that. Next up, we've got our last bidding auction item to go. This is our grand auction item, you guys, and you're going to want to bid right away. Okay, what we have is the Table of Ultimate Gaming. This is an Elite Series table that is finished in black. It's got this really cool neoprene red play surface that is perfect for rolling dice, playing cards. It's super epic. It can be the centerpiece of your game room, but it works equally as well as a regular table. So it's very practical and super dope. It comes equipped with 2 power plugs, and you'll check it out in this video, but we're also including 2 remote controlled LED wall mount torches. What? So it's going to add to this kind of fantasy tavern ambience that you got going on in your gaming experience. Don't take my word for it. Check out this video clip. See the Table of Ultimate Gaming in action and bid now. Bid, 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 bid. Bid, 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 bid.
Welcome to the Table of Ultimate Gaming, the revolutionary gaming table system that allows you to play your games your way. This amazing modular game table system arrives flat-packed and can be built and ready for play in no time using simple tools that we include.
All Elite Series tables from the Table of Ultimate Gaming come with 2 outlets and 2 USB ports at each end of the table.
Wow. Y'all are bidding. I know you're bidding right now. You're going to want that. That's why it's the grand prize. So let me know how that goes. Keep on bidding. But while you do that, let's get a little bit more serious because the Game Academy has been working diligently since March of 2020 when the world got hit by chaos. Since COVID, Game Academy has pivoted from face-to-face sessions straight to an online platform composed of remote communication software and virtual tabletop services. This is a huge change going from face-to-face and then trying to teach social and emotional skills over a virtual space. Guess what? We've learned so much during this sheltering in place time that there are so many ways to connect, to collaborate, to have fun, to have interpersonal relationships. And even if the world gets virtual, there's a way for us to play. Now, back in the day, we had a lot of theater, right? You go in and you can really play theater games with each other, get inside of characters. And now that we can't do that, this is the next space for that. I don't know if you guys know, I'm an actor myself, and I've been able to play inside of storytelling worlds virtually through RPGs like never before. So one silver lining to our pivot to virtual gaming is that we can bring our educational expertise and our play-based learning and our philosophy to a much larger audience. Okay, now we're not limited by our geography stuck in California. We can include people literally from all over the world. So we've expanded our program to serve adults, entire families from all over the world who want to learn and play together. Imagine hiring a professional game master to run your next game or at your next birthday party or even your next business Zoom call, right? Get anybody together. Participation in our games not only entertains, but educates. And gaming can provide much needed relief for the participants because there's a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety during this current times. So, I mean, of course, don't worry. We intend to get back to our usual in-person offerings as soon as we can, as soon as it's safe. We obviously miss it too. The energy in a room, you cannot deny. If you were in the room right now with me, you would feel all my energy. But in the next video, we're going to discuss all of the positive aspects and the impact of what we're doing virtually as we game during the time of COVID. So check it out.
Currently, due to COVID, we are using a remote system. We use what's called a virtual tabletop. It's a program, but it's not a video game. It's like a representation of an actual tabletop that you would use in a game, where you have an environment that's being represented and tokens or images that represent the characters that are involved in the scene. So sometimes that's for tactical or other reasons, but then the interaction is really the focus.
Recently, when they started branching out when they're doing a game academy and after school, and now especially online in this time of COVID-19, that was when I knew that this is an opportunity that is wonderful. Now we don't have to have just this exact place where there are students that can game. These students can come from anywhere, and they have a place where they can get that same great experience. And now there's these online tools like Roll20, and they're using that there. So when you put these tools together with these great game masters, the gaming experience now can reach anybody who wants to be a part of it.
It's not something that is just for kids. It is an activity that stimulates the mind of people of all ages. So we have, during the time of COVID, really opened up our programming to adults and giving them an experience that allows them to have some of the same benefits that we're offering our kids, not just the social outlet, but really taking interest in things that maybe they didn't have connection with before.
I do this both professionally and as my own hobby. I'm very lucky to be able to engage in this on both levels. And so to my adult friends who've never done it before, I'm constantly reminding them that, hey, this is one of the funnest ways I've ever experienced to connect with your people, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends who you don't see because they live across the country or because they live in the next town and we're all in lockdown. This is a chance, a way, a method of connecting with people. It is a context in which we can all get together and play and tell a story. I mean, what more fun could there be? We all sit at home in our little bubbles watching Netflix and watching movies. Why not get together with all of your friends and your people and tell a story? Tell an adventure, tell a murder mystery, tell a comedy. All of those things can be found in these kinds of games.
It was a very stressful couple of weeks where we were like completely changing the nature of our program in the way that we deliver a service. Because we are, at this point, we are more of a service delivery model. Now we're trying to change that and diversify it, but we deliver a specific service. And so when the mode of delivery has to change because of the environment, that's like, holy moly, what do we do? And we quickly had to learn the Roll20 environment and import all of our players into that environment and teach them, and then get Discord running. So it was nuts for probably about a month, but things settled down. And other than the worrisome, at least for me, the thing that's in the back of my mind is how much screen time kids are forced to participate in at this time of year. They're going to school online, so they're sitting in front of a computer for 4 to 5 hours a day. And then they're coming to us to do the same thing for a couple of hours. And so that's not optimal for them or for us, but I think it's still, the service that we're delivering is as good, or in some instances, way better than we were doing in person. And I'm really proud of that transition that we made.
Oh, we're coming to an end. You guys, my my personal goal with all of this is I believe that RPGs and interactive storytelling is the only way, but the best way to get people to learn of all ages, lifelong learners. It's the only way. And the more we have your donations and the more we have your support, the more we'll be able to do this worldwide and get this into schools and get this into communities that really serve you. So now that we're coming to the end, we've got one video left. This is the part where I ask you to please be a hero with me. Yeah, please support us with either a financial contribution or by bidding on one of the auction items, because the Game Academy needs your help. And don't forget, we are a 501c3, an educational nonprofit, so all your donations are tax deductible. And just so you know, a few things that your donations support, I'm going to list them off to you. Obviously, a fair living wage for our amazing game masters and their staff. They have been working so tirelessly for not enough money, haven't we all? Next up, program scholarships for disadvantaged youths in many different varieties of communities who can't afford full tuition to come to our summer camps or enrichment classes. Your donations will help create curricular units for homeschool and private school classrooms in disadvantaged areas. Your donations will also help additional special guest educators and professionals to come to our camps. It helps us in so many ways to continue growing our curriculum and sharing it with different communities. If you're unable to make a financial contribution and you still want to support, there's so many ways that you can help us and our mission. So consider donating your time, because time is money, baby. Consider donating your time as a volunteer. We're always looking for help with so many things. So get in touch with us at info@thegameacademy.org. That's info@thegameacademy.org. Tell us what you're interested in, and you will be assimilated into the community immediately. And I've got a video here from Josh and the rest of the staff really talking about how the fundraising is going to help and what goals that we have. Donate now and check out this video to learn a little bit more.
One of the reasons that we're holding this fundraiser is that we are working very, very hard, doing gangbusters, reaching lots and lots of kids with our programming, but we are stressed to the limit. We are understaffed. We have lots of work that many of us are doing on the weekends, late at night, many for not any pay. And we're wanting to be a sustainable business where our staff is working effectively and not burning out. And everything that we bring in now goes towards increasing our staff so that we can do what we do and actually have lives and sleep and be the best that we can be for your kids and for you in your games.
That we have a lot of scholarship money, and we want every child who can benefit from this program to be part of it. So we really do try to meet folks where they're at with their financial needs. And in fact, that's what this fundraiser is all about.
First of all, need more funds and donations to help run the events. It does, we need that, and we need awareness and more funds to support the organization are very important, especially online now. We have to even run a game, we have to do Zoom, we have to have Roll20 accounts with different resources, and all that costs a lot of money in order to even make it work. So we need donations and support so we can actually run these games. And a big one we'd like is, now that we can Zoom games and really reach a larger audience, we need help in that marketing way. We need people to tell everybody about this, to come watch this, come see this, to come try it out, to even just get the word out there that it exists, because we are always looking for more people to be part of it, and we need the help.
But the fundraiser right now for us is essential to keep doing what we're doing, to keep providing the services that we're providing to the people that we're providing them to. And that fundraising money will help us not only bridge the gap so that we can pay the people that are working and doing this magical experience with the kids, we can pay them what they're worth, but we can also grow the organization to reach more people. Without that funding, we cannot do that. So that's where we're at.
Thank you for helping out the Game Academy. All you do to support us is how we can support so many students in engagement in these wonderful exercises in acting, gaming, playing, and really exploring and becoming who they are. It's powerful, and I want to thank Avi so much for your support.
Really, thank you for supporting the Game Academy. What you're genuinely supporting is a way of life for the staff to live as educator game masters, and for the participants to be plugged into networks of friends and educators and mentors, and the students that join our program tend to stay in the program for years, and there's a reason for that. And same with the staff, right? So really, thank you.
With people stepping up and contributing and supporting us with completely amazing and generous donations, has kept us afloat and has also given us hope that others see the power in what we do. We recognize it ourselves, but to see our community recognize it and to mirror that with the faith in us and the support they give is what keeps us afloat, not just financially, but spiritually with our own emotional connections.
Thank you so much for supporting the Game Academy.
Oh, Josh, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you guys so much at home that are helping us. It just means the world. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you again to our sponsors, our staff, everyone who gave their time and energy to this event. It really does take a village, you guys. And remember, items will be open for bidding now until the end of December or end of November. And then, you know, in December, we'll be handing those out. So start making your holiday gift lists and bid on those items right now while you support the Game Academy's mission. Right now, head on over to the Twitch channel where you're going to get a premiere of our 2-hour pilot event episode of Arcane Dinner Party. And then stick around after that. There'll be a light Q&A with the creators. And then a sweet after party starting at 10 p.m. with music from DJ Johnny Geometry on Twitch. So thank you again. Have a wonderful night. Keep donating, keep supporting, and keep playing. Keep playing, keep playing. Thank you guys so much. Mwah!